Hello po. Am I clear po? Mr. Vice Chair, would you like to start the meeting?
Go ahead, Backsec. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to the members. Do we have a quorum already?
Yes po, Mr. Vice Chair. With the permission po of our
Okay,
presiding
go ahead.
officer. Again, pleasant morning po to everyone. And we welcome you po to the 74th online meeting po of the DICT Back 2. And today is October 15, 2025. And for the quorum po, we would just like to acknowledge po the presence of the following DICT Back 2 members. We have here the provisional member and user, Director Edgar M. Navarro. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you, sir. We also have here our provisional member, Attorney Carlo Paulo P. Morsha. Good morning po, sir.
Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you, sir. We also have here our regular member, Director Dennis E. Morales. Good morning po.
Good morning.
Thank you, sir. And this meeting po is being presided by the Vice Chairperson, Director June Vincent Manuel Escautan. And with the majority po of the back members present, the back secretariat confirms the presence of a quorum. Thank you po.
Backsec, please present the agenda for today. Thank you.
Copy po, Mr. Vice Chair. For today's meeting po, we have one item lang po on the agenda, which is the PBIT conference for the project Prevention of Internet Access via Low Earth Orbit Satellites, PLAOS for Remote Public Schools, Lot A to D, with an approved budget for the contract of 1,458,637,534 pesos. And the end user po is from the free Wi-Fi. And the target action po is for bid clarifications and issuance po of the supplemental bid bulletin. With this po, may we get the approval po of the back members on the presented agenda, please.
Mr. Vice Chair, I move for the approval of the agenda as presented. I so move, Mr. Vice Chair. Salamat po.
Second, Mr. Vice Chair.
With that, the agenda is hereby approved. Backsec.
Thank you po, Mr. Vice Chair. For the information po of our back members, we're expecting po 17 prospective bidders po in today's pre-bid conference po.
That's good. At least marami tayong mga potential partners. Thank you.
So we would like to remind po that this meeting is being recorded po for documentation purposes. And pursuant po to the management directive and in the interest of promoting transparency po, this meeting will be posted na lang po on our the ICT YouTube channel po, which is the Department of ICT Philippines in compliance po sa Section 38 of the Republic Act 12009 po. With the permission po of our presiding officer, we'll now proceed in admitting po the prospective bidders, the technical working group, and the other end user representatives who are in the waiting room.
Go ahead.
A pleasant afternoon po. We would like to acknowledge po the good morning po. We would like to acknowledge po the presence of the prospective bidders po, the technical working group, and the end user representative po here in the meeting po. And we would like to reiterate po that this meeting po is being recorded for documentation purposes and pursuant po to the directive of our management directive in the interest po of promoting transparency. This meeting po will be recorded po and posted po on our DICT YouTube channel, which is the Department of ICT Philippines, in compliance po with Section 38 of the Republic Act number 12009 po. With the permission po of our presiding officer, we would like to request po the prospective bidders po to kindly click the raise hand button. Once acknowledged po, please state your full name and the company you are representing for proper identification po. Thank you so much.
Backsec, are they all here?
Yes po, Mr. Vice Chair. We're
Okay,
just
let's
requesting
proceed.
po
Thank
the
you.
prospective bidders po. Thank you, sir. Mr. Vice Chair, we're requesting po the prospective bidders po to you may raise your click the raise hand button po so that we can acknowledge all of you po here in the meeting. Yes po, Mr. Chris, you're acknowledged po.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm Chris Mauricio from Telered.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Jose, you're acknowledged po, sir.
Good morning. I'm Jose Covarrubias from Data Lake.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Emmanuel, you're acknowledged po.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Emmanuel Tapat from PLDT.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Clifford, you're acknowledged po.
Hi, good morning everyone. I'm Clifford Seno from SMSGT. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Miss Con, you're acknowledged po.
Yun. Con Airoso Marcelo from We Are IT Philippines. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry. From TerraServe Marketing, you're acknowledged po. From TerraServe Marketing, you are acknowledged po. Apologies po, we'll skip po from the representative po from TerraServe Marketing and proceed po to Miss Ana Antonio. You are acknowledged po.
Hello po. Good morning, Ana Antonio from I1 Resources.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Miss Blair, Mr. Blair, Benjamin, you're acknowledged po.
Yes, good morning from Microdata Systems, Blair Ignacio. Good morning.
Thank you so much, sir. Miss Ria Valdez, you're acknowledged po.
Hi, good morning everyone. Ria Valdez from Data Lake Inc.
Thank you so much po. Mr. Jerome Carlo, you're acknowledged po.
Good morning, everyone. Jerome from Limitless Tech Solutions Corporation.
Thank you so much po. Mr. Terence Tan, you're acknowledged po.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Terence from SMSGT.
Thank you so much po. Mr. Mark Agustin, you're acknowledged po.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mark Agustin. I'm from VRIT Philippines.
Thank you so much po. Mr. Michael Nolasco, you're acknowledged po.
Hi, good morning everyone. Michael Nolasco po, ma'am, from PLDT Enterprise.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Sam Acosta, you are acknowledged.
Thank you for acknowledging. This is Sam Acosta from Microdata. Good morning po.
Thank you so much po. Mr. Neron, you're acknowledged po.
Hi, I'm Prixie Radova from PLDT. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Miss Mary Ann Perez, you're acknowledged po.
Hi, good morning. Mary Ann Dalanaw from Data Lake.
Thank you so much po. Mr. Erlindo Takneng, you're acknowledged po.
Hi, good morning. I'm Shirley Lusitakneng Jr. from PLDT Enterprise.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. John Mark, you're acknowledged po.
Good morning po. I'm John Magdalacos from PLDT also. Thank you.
Thank you so much po. Miss Katrina Alba, you're acknowledged po.
Hi, good morning po. I'm Katrina Alba po from SMSGT.
Thank you so much po. Miss Joy De La Cruz.
Good morning, everyone. I'm from Tipiling, Philippines.
Thank you so much po. Miss Joy B, you're acknowledged po.
Good morning, Joy Bea from PLDT. Thank you.
Thank you so much po. From TerraServe Marketing, you're acknowledged.
Yes, good morning, everyone. This is Jeff Lasay from TerraServe Technologies Inc. Good morning.
Thank you so much po. Sir Vicente Co.
Good
You're
morning po.
acknowledged po.
Good morning po. I'm Vicente Co from Comclark Network and Technology Corporation.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Christian Ken Samonte, you are acknowledged po.
Good morning po. I'm Christian Ken Samota from Comclark Network and Technology Corp. po. Thank you.
Thank you so much po. Mr. Jonathan Mina.
Good morning, everyone. Jonathan Mina from Comclark.
Thank you so much po. Mr. Renz Francesca Estacio po, you're acknowledged.
Hi, good morning. Ren Sestasio from Comclark Network and Technology Corporation. Thank you.
Thank you so much po, ma'am. Anyone po from the prospective bidders who were not yet acknowledged po? Yes po, Mr. King Julius, you're acknowledged po, sir.
Good morning, everyone. I'm King Montero from LTSI. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You are acknowledged po, Mr. Richard.
Hi everyone, good morning. I'm Richard Sternlo Franco from Ardent Networks. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Last call po.
Okay na Backsec?
Meron pa po.
Are there any other representatives?
I think wala na po. Sir, with your permission po, Mr. Vice Chair, will now proceed po with the presentation po of the project to be followed by the presentation and discussion po of the end user of their technical specification of the project po.
Go ahead, Backsec, please. Thank you.
Thank you po, Mr. Vice Chair. For the presentation po, may we call on Ms. Langmay Ebina po. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the private conference for the project provision of internet access via low Earth orbit satellites or remote public schools with reference number of the ICT BAC.
The back just lost their connection. Let's wait for them.
Apologies po to everyone. We're having technical difficulties po here in the central office po.
Again, welcome to the private conference for the project provision of internet access via low Earth orbit satellites for remote public schools with a bid reference number of the ICT BAC-2025-112-A, B, C, and D with a total ABC of 1,458,637,534. The breakdown of ABC are as follows. For Lot A, 219,427,900. For Lot B, 19,998,509. For Lot C, 545,693,300. For Lot D, 502,517,825. And for all lots, 1,458,637,534. So for the project details, the invitation to bid for this project was posted last October 8, 2025 to the following: PhilJeps, the ICT website, and the ICT bulletin board. And we sent for the invitation to observers for this project last October 9, 2025 to the following: Commission on Audit, Chief Information Officers, Forum Foundation Incorporated, Institute of Electronics Engineers of the Philippines Incorporated, and Philippine Computer Society. However, no observers were able to attend this meeting. So the prospective bidders which are registered for today's private conference are as follows: Datalink Incorporated, Limitless Tech Solutions, ComClark Network and Technology Corporation, TP-Link Philippines, PLDT Incorporated, Bit Global LLC, SMS Global Technologies Incorporated, Converge, VRIT, Microdata Systems and Management Incorporated, TerraServe Technologies Incorporated, Telered Technologies and Services Corp., I1 Resources, Plexus Systems Incorporated, Revolve Solutions Incorporated, Ardent Network Incorporated, and last, Philippine Communications Satellite Corporation. For the points of discussion are the following: project details, house rules, schedule of activities, instructions to bidders, checklist of technical and financial documents, 2 envelope system and proper sealing and markings, a data sheet, technical specifications, forms, post-qualification documents, and reminders to bidders. For the house rules, everyone is encouraged to make clarification. Kindly identify your name and company before raising a question, and limit your question to details of the procurement at hand. For the instructions to bidders, for the bidding requirements, the bidding for this project shall be governed by all the provisions of RA 12009. Any amendments made to the IRR and other GPPB issuances shall be applicable only to the ongoing posting, advertisement, or IB by the BAC through the issuance of a supplemental or bid bulletin. The bidder, by the act of submitting its bid, shall be deemed to have verified and accepted the general requirements of this project, including other factors that may affect the cost, duration, and execution or implementation of the contract, project, or work, and examine all instructions, forms, terms, and project requirements in the bidding documents. Corrupt, fraudulent, collusive, and coercive practices. The procuring entity, as well as the bidders and suppliers, shall observe the highest standards of ethics during the procurement and execution of the contract. They or through an agent shall not engage in corrupt, fraudulent, collusive, coercive, and obstructive practices defined under RA 12009 or other integrity violations in competing for the project. For the conflict of interest, all bidders found to have conflicting interests shall be disqualified to participate in the procurement at hand, without prejudice to the imposition of appropriate administrative, civil, and criminal sanctions. All bidding documents shall be accompanied by an omnibus sworn statement of the bidder that is not related by consanguinity or affinity to the third level, to the hope, procurement agent engaged, the head of the project management office, the end user or implementing unit, or any members of the BAC, technical working group, and BAC secretariat. The bidder shall also disclose the ultimate beneficial ownership of an entity. Failure to comply shall be ground for the automatic disqualification of the bid in consonance with Section 59 of the IRR. For the eligible bidders, only bids of bidders found to be legally, technically, and financially capable will be evaluated. Foreign ownership limited to those allowed under the rules may participate in this project. The OCCs may be eligible to participate only if they can establish that they are legally and financially autonomous, operate under commercial law, and are not attached agencies of the procuring entity. The bidder must have completed within a period of 5 years from the submission of the bid unless a shorter period is indicated in the invitation to bid and BDS. A single largest completed contract that is similar to the procurement project to be bid and whose value must be equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC, adjusted to current prices using the Philippine Statistic Authority consumer price indices. The bidder must submit a computation of its net financial contracting capacity, which must be at least equal to the ABC to be bid. Subcontracting is not allowed for this project. For the clarification and amendment of bidding documents, request for clarification should be formalized, addressed, and emailed to the BAC Secretariat at bac@dict.gov.ph and bac.secretariat@dict.gov.ph. Deadline for the request for clarification is on October 17, 2025 at 4 p.m. Copies of supplemental bid bulletins, if any, shall be posted at the PhilJEP's DICT websites and bulletin board at the DICT lab. For the language of bids, the eligibility requirements or statements, the bids, and all other documents to be submitted to the BAC must be in English. If the eligibility requirements or statements, the bids, and all other documents submitted to the BAC are in foreign language other than English, it must be accompanied by a translation of documents in English. For contracting parties to the apostille convention, the document shall be authenticated through an apostille by the competent authority as defined in section 20.9.2 of the IRR, except for countries identified by the DFA that will still require legalization by the relevant embassy or consulate. For the checklist of technical and financial documents, for the technical component envelope should comprise of the following: PhilJEP certificate of registration, platinum membership, all pages, statement of single largest completed contract, NFCC computation or committed line of credit, statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. 5. If applicable, JBA, or in the absence of a JBA, a duly notarized statements from all potential JB partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JBA in the event that the bid is successful. Bid security in the prescribed form and amount in accordance with the ITB Clause 16 and validity period under ITB Clause 15. Next is schedule of requirements. 8. Technical specifications, which may include production or delivery schedule, manpower requirements, or after sales service or parts if applicable. 9. Omnibus warrant statement. And 10. For foreign bidders claiming eligibility by reason of their country's extension of reciprocal rights to Filipinos, or certification from the relevant government office of their country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in their government procurement activities for the same item or product. For the financial document envelope, should have bid form which includes the bid price schedules in accordance with ITB Clause 13.1 and, if applicable, certificate of domestic preference in accordance with ITB Clause 25. For the bid payment and currency, payment of the contract price shall be made in Philippine peso. For the bid price, use the proper form for goods offered from within the Philippines or goods offered from abroad in indicating price schedule. For the bid validity, bid shall remain valid for the period specified in the BDS, which shall not exceed 120 calendar days from the date of the opening of bids. For the bid security, all bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount stated in the BDS. For the format and signing of bids, Bidders shall submit their bids through their duly authorized representative using the appropriate forms provided in Section 8, Philippine Bidding Document Related Forms, on or before the deadline specified in ITB Clause 19 in 2 separate sealed bid envelopes. Forms as mentioned in ITB Clause 17.1 must be completed without any alterations to their format. No substitute form shall be accepted. Each and every page of the bid form, including the price schedule under Section 8, shall be signed by the duly authorized representative of the bidder. Failure to do so shall be a ground for the rejection of the bid. Any insertions, erasures, or overwriting shall be valid only if they are signed or initialed by the duly authorized representative of the bidder. For the sealing and markings, so the bid should comprise of 2 separate envelopes labeled as technical component and financial component envelope. Technical component envelope should include the original copy, duplicate copy, and triplicate copy, and financial component should have original copy, financial component, duplicate copy, and triplicate copy. For the sealing and marking of bids, kindly indicate to the ICT from name of bidder in capital letters, address of bidder in capital letters, the project name, which is the provision of internet access via low Earth orbit satellites for remote public school with bid reference number. And in capital letters, indicate the phrase "do not open before October 27, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. For the copies, each bidder shall submit 1 original copy of the required documents. For the deadline for the submission of bids, on October 27, 2025 at 12 noon at the opening of bids is on the same day, October 27, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. For the bid evaluation, reminding bidders to kindly break down all the costs of taxes pursuant to Section 61.2.2 IRR of RA 12009, to wit, all bidders shall be required to include the cost of all taxes, such as but not limited to value-added tax, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal levies and duties which shall be itemized in the bid form reflected in the detailed estimates. Such bids, including said taxes, shall be the basis for bid evaluation and comparison. For the opening and preliminary examinations of bids, the manner of opening of bids for goods shall depend on the award criteria to be adopted for this project. For LCRB, the BAC shall open the technical and financial proposals on the same day. The data sheet contract similar to the project shall be contract similar in nature shall refer to the supply, delivery, and management of satellite communications technology completed within 5 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. The bid security shall be in the form of bid security declaration or any of the following forms and amounts. For Lot A, in the amount of 14,521,395 if in bank draft or guarantee or irrevocable letter of credit or surety bond. For Lot B, in the amount of 5,999,925.45 in bank draft or guarantee or irrevocable letter of credit or surety bond. For Lot C, in the amount of 27,284,665, same form. For Lot D, 25,125,891.25, same form of bid security. For all lots, in the amount of 72,931,876.70, same form of bid security. For post-qualification documents, the bidder within 5 calendar days from receipt of notice from the BAC that it submitted the LCB shall submit all the eligibility documents supporting its PhilJEP certificate of registration, its latest income and business tax returns filed for the preceding quarter, which should not be earlier than 2 quarters from the date of submission and receipt of bid, and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the BDS. For the forms, you have schedule of requirements, technical specifications, bid form, price schedule for goods offered from abroad, price schedule for goods offered from within the Philippines, bid securing declaration, and omnibus word statement. So these are the forms that is also provided in the bidding documents. For the bid form, price schedule for goods, price schedule for goods, bid securing declaration form, omnibus word statement form, and schedule of requirements. Again, for the reminders to bidders, Taklakat that the ICT lobby using the Philippine Standard Time is the official reference time during submission and receipt of bids. A member of the BAC Secretariat will be assigned to receive the bid documents at the ICT lobby and shall stamp this as received. Bidders are reminded that entry inside the ICT premises is subject to the safety in place, and processing of payment for the bidding documents prior to the submission of the actual bid offer may take time. Presence in the ICT premises does not constitute submission on time. It shall refer to the actual handover of the bid proposal to the authorized personnel of the BACSEC. A request for clarification should be formalized, addressed, and emailed to the BAC Secretariat at the following email addresses: bac@ict.gov.ph and bac.secretariat@ict.gov.ph. The deadline for the clarification is on October 17, 2025 at 4 p.m. Copies of the SBB, if any, shall be posted at the PhilJEP's website, the ICT website, and bulletin board at the ICT lobby. Common causes of ineligibility and disqualification, invalid PhilJEP certification and underlying supporting documents. Pursuant to Section 20.2.9.1 of RA 12009, all Class A eligibility documents indicated in Annex A of the PhilJEP's registration certificate must be current, valid, and updated at the time of bid submission. The failure by the prospective bidder to update its certificate with the current and updated Class A eligibility documents shall result in the automatic suspension of the validity of its certificate until such time that all of the expired Class A has been updated. Thus, prospective bidders are required to update their PhilJEP's registration certificates prior to the submission of their bids. Failure to attach the required supporting documents for the statement of SLCC to the project to be bid, and failure to include submission of unsigned documents, submission of audited financial statement without stamp receipt of the BIR if an AFS was filed and paid through electronic filing and payment system. There is no need for the stamp receipt of the BIR. Instead, bidders must submit their proof of AFS e-submission. Example, BIR's email confirmation receipt of returns documents with its filing reference number transaction. Failure to submit the bid securing declaration in the prescribed format attached in the bidding documents. Failure to submit the bid securing declaration and OSS without IJURAT as required in the form provided in the bidding documents pursuant to the latest rules on notarial practice. And failure to indicate compliance in the technical specification and to attach proof of compliance if applicable. For submission of bids through courier service, bidders are reminded that the courier service personnel must submit the bid proposal to a personnel of the BAC Secretariat Division at the office address provided in the bidding documents. Bid submission proposal left by the courier service personnel at the lobby guard or any other personnel or staff aside from the authorized BACSEC will not be considered submitted for purposes of bid opening. The responsibility to ensure that the courier service personnel submits the bid proposal to the authorized BACSEC is the sole responsibility of the prospective bidder. That's all po on the part po of the back secretariat.
Thank you po, Ms. Langmei. Mr. Vice Chair, we'll now proceed on the presentation po of the technical specification. But Mr. Vice Chair, considering po that the bidding documents po was posted at the PhilCHEPS and the ICT website, we would like to confirm po the prospective bidders po if they have scrutinized the same documents po, and also with the permission po of our back members, would you like to dispense po with reading the technical specification of the project and proceed po with the question and answer portion po?
Back members.
Mr. Vice Chair, I move for the dispensation of the reading of the technical documents, considering that the same documents have been furnished our potential bidders. And we move forward to the question and answer, Mr. Vice Chair. Salamat po.
Okay, so are there any reactions, concerns? Hearing none, so let's get on with the questions by the bidder, potential bidders. Thank you.
Thank you po to the back members. For the queries and clarification, may we kindly request po all the prospective bidders po to click the raise hand button if they wish to make a clarification. Then once acknowledged po, please clearly state your full name, the company you represent, and the specific item po in the bidding documents you would like to clarify po. This is to ensure proper identification and to help us respond promptly and accurately to your concerns. Thank you so much.
Prospective bidders, do you have any questions or concerns, clarifications? This is now your time to raise them. Thank you.
So flash on the screen po yung bidding documents we have posted po on our the ICT website po.
And to the end user, please be ready to answer the questions from our prospective bidders. So kindly raise your hands if you do have questions, queries, or concerns, and we will be accommodating them. Ma'am Ria, yes, go ahead.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So I'm Ria Valdez from Data Lake. A question related to clauses 11.5 to 11.10. So the TOR says that acceptance requires 2 DICT representatives per site. So meaning it requires a physical presence that may cause possible bottlenecks given the timeline that we set, which is just 45 days. So the question is, may we confirm if the ICT would allow alternative methods such as acceptance by a regional point of contact or end user, or school representative, or maybe a representative from the SDO, or maybe just a video documented acceptance? That's my question.
End user, this is a very interesting question because you are going to be accepting so many sites in a very short period.
Yep.
End user.
Yeah, and given that the volume requirement, so we're estimating around 250 to 300 sites per day just to complete the installation. So given that, so we're asking if we could allow alternative methods for acceptance.
End user, please. Is Director Navarro here? Ayan, Director Edgar, yes, you are recognized.
Good morning, Mr. Vice Chair. Yes, sir, thank you for that question. For the interest of time secure and tight schedule, we could allow the presence of a representative from from schools.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Would an app-based or video documented acceptance allowable? That could be possible alternative method, sir.
We prefer the actual inspection and acceptance
Okay, so
of the teachers, and with maybe some documents to be signed with the recipients.
okay, so
or
physical
from
presence
the
is required, sir. Okay,
Yes,
copy.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So that's very clear, no? So you would also be answering that in your supplemental bid bulletin, no? To actually clarify it more. Any other questions? Concerns? Okay. Let me recognize Jose Covarrubias. Sir.
Yeah, Jose Covarrubias from Data Lake. Just to follow up on that, Corey, it's great that you'll consider allowing just the local representative or the representatives from the schools to fast track the installation and acceptance. But with the given schedule also, we have concerns since deployment will go from November and December. In December, there are a lot of holidays. So, but on our part, we would plan to deploy and install even during the holidays, even December 24, 25. What will happen will there be representatives available on those days?
That's a very good point. And you, sir?
Yeah, thank you for the question. We already discussed it with the principals from the DepEd, and they will provide focal persons for each schools. And we also recommend probably the inspection remotely, maybe from the ACT regional offices. They just could make a video call so that the presence of the ACT through remote sites could help the justifications or maybe proving that they conducted installations into the said sites.
Thank you. And you, sir, Mr. Covarrubias, is that does that satisfy your question or answer your question?
Yes, just to be clear, so that's even during the holidays, right? On all days, during the 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, and next up is Mr. Clifford Seno.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Clifford Seno here of SMSGT, sir. Question lang, sir. Under technical specs 1435, cloud management capability, support cloud management for remote speed tests. Meaning, sir, the speed test will be done by the what do you call this one? The cloud management, hindi siya on-site gagawin. Is
And
it a mandatory requirement po?
And you, sir?
It's on site, sir.
Noted, sir. So hindi siya i-trigger ng via the cloud app.
No.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Next up is Mr. Terrence Tan. You're recognized. Mr. Terrence Tan, you're recognized.
Good morning, sir. Sir, my question would be, sir, for the technical specific.
From what company are you, sir?
Sorry,
for the
sir,
record.
SMSGT. So, sir, my question would be for the technical specification number 1.4.2.4. Sir, question lang. Regarding for this side, sir, what is the technical rationale for specifying two gigabit internet ports on the outdoor access points while accepting only 1 gigaport for the indoor units, given that both are generally related for similar Wi-Fi throughput?
End user, please answer. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. We can relax it into 1 GB internet port.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir. And sir, one last. Sir, regarding po dun sa may monitoring item sa may 6.6.4.6, it's for the API, I'm sorry. Yan, sir. Sir, what do you mean by, sir, first question, what do you mean by external system? And is there already a middleware for the API integration?
End user, please expound on this.
For a while, Mr. Vice Chair.
Okay, you can have your time. Terrence, let's just wait for the end user.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Maybe we could park that for a while, Mr. Vice Chair, and we could proceed to another question. We'll discuss
Yeah, you
the-
can answer that in a supplemental bit bulletin naman, if there's a requirement. Any other questions from? I see no hands raised here. Jennifer, Madam Jennifer Penaroyo, you are recognized, ma'am.
Hello po, good morning everyone. My name is Jennifer from Revolve Solutions. My first question po, will you allow po recorded acceptance as an alternative means of acceptance considering that the total delivery and acceptance period is limited to 45 calendar days?
I think that has been answered, but of course, end user, you can hammer your point on that particular matter.
Would it be possible for all sites are all recorded acceptance?
End user, please.
We allow that, sir. Basta lang mayroong mga geotag and timestamp.
Okay. Does that satisfy you, Miss Jennifer, or do you have any further questions?
Yes, sir. Another question po, sir, sa installation schedule po. Pwede po ba kami maka-request ng pre-approval for the installation ng schedules on weekends, Saturday and Sundays?
End user? Ma'am, can you clarify your question? Maybe the end user didn't get it.
Regarding, sir, sa installation, magre-request po sana kami, sir, na makapag-notify po sa schools na i-allow kami na makapag-install during Saturday and Sundays.
End user, please.
Yes, we allow that, Mr. Vice Chair.
Okay, that's pretty clear.
Bali, sir, kayo na po, sir, yung magsisend po ba ng letter for the schools?
End user?
We'll discuss. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. We will send.
Thank you, sir. Another question po for the submission ng eligibility and technical documents. Since ano po to for lots, if ever sasalihan po ng lahat ng lots, okay lang po ba na mag-submit lang kami ng one set of eligibility and technical documents para sa lahat ng lots?
Sir Vice Chair, if I may.
Yeah, Backsec, that's your question to answer.
Yes po, all the bidders po can submit po one set of eligibility and technical documents and also the financial component po. Specifying lang po yung project title and the corresponding bid reference number po or specific lot being participated in po.
I think that's pretty clear, Backsec. Any other questions, Miss Jennifer?
Regarding naman po sir sa SLCC po, may we request po at least 2 similar contracts, one contract equivalent to at least 25% ng ABC and another completed contract covering the remaining 25% instead of requiring a single contract equivalent to 50% of the ABC?
End user. End user.
Well, I can answer that, Mr. Vice Chair, next, SBB.
Okay, you will answer that in a supplemental bid bulletin to expound it more. Jennifer, are there any other questions that you would want to raise?
Yes, sir. My last question po, sir, regarding po dun sa requirements po dito. Na-notice ko po kasi from the previous projects po, there is an ISO 27001 certification. But in this project, nawala po siya as a standard requirement. May we recommend the reinstatement of the ISO 27001 certification as this was included in the previous procurement, and including this standard help ensures the project maintains its established level of information security and the bidders operate under the certified ISMS.
Yeah,
Okay. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
we will include that provision for the 2701.
Okay. Any questions, other Jennifer? I think that was your last question. No?
Okay. Yes po, sir. Wait na lang po namin, sir, your answer in SBB po.
Yeah, the clarifications will be done through the SBB, as mentioned by the end user. Can I have 1 minute bathroom break? Everyone, I beg your indulgence. One minute. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. And next is Michael Nolasco. You're recognized, sir.
Sir, thank you. Good morning. Question lang uli, sir. Dun sa issuance ng bank guarantee and CLC, would it be for individual lots or based on the combined value of the lots the bidder is participating?
Backsec, please clarify this matter.
For that po, ABC per lot po, since this will be awarded po separate, sir.
Okay, I think that's pretty clear. Any other question, Michael?
Yes, sir. Isa na lang po. Sa SLCC din, sir, would it be based also on per lot yung SLCC na gagamitin, or would it be based on the combined value that the bidder is participating?
Backsec.
Mr. Vice Chair, if I may po, sir.
Yes, Backsec, go ahead.
Yes po, per lot din po, sir. And if the bidder po can submit naman po as a whole, pwede rin naman po yun, sir. So, yun po.
Okay po. Thank you.
Now let's go to Sam Acosta. Sam, you recognize?
Hi, good morning po. Pertaining to TOR section 1.2, which states requires security and manageability of network devices. This is also related to what was raised earlier regarding the requirement of bidders with ISO 27001, which we deem not necessary, but instead we would like to clarify and probably request that the ICT should require OEMs or active components to present recognized cybersecurity certifications that includes minimum ISO 27001 and SOC 2 Type 2 for their cloud management platform and firmware supply chain.
End user. Director Edgar and the team.
We will just put our comments and in SBB, Mr. Vice Chair.
Okay, so they will clarify that, Mr. Michael, Mr. Sam.
Yes, so just one additional related also under TOR section 1.2.4, unified cloud management solution, and also under TOR section 4, testing and acceptance requirements. May we ask the end user to confirm whether the unified cloud management platform must be hosted within the Philippines or perhaps a DICT approved sovereign cloud region? And if offshore hosting is allowed, will DICT require data processing agreements and proof of lawful cross-border transfer for telemetry and corresponding logs?
Here's a valid point from Mr. Sam. Director Ed and the end user.
We will answer that, Mr. Vice Chair, to the SBB, Mr. Vice.
Thank you, Director Edgar.
Thank you po. Sir,
are there
just
any other
one,
questions?
just one more, please. We have a question from our solutions architect, engineer Wawi Bayani here. Please go ahead.
Hi everyone, good morning. Under 1.4.4 that 1.3 support up to 64 IPsec BBN tunnels. We just to clarify how do you architect po yung naging ano natin dito, yung SD1, since you required 1,000 sites po. It's either hub and spoke po ba to or full mesh. I think 64 IPsec tunnel it will not suffice on your requirements since your requirements is thousands of sites po.
Mr. Basher, we will answer that in our SPB, Mr. Basher.
Okay, thank you,
Okay,
Director
sir.
Edgar. I hope there's no other question from Sam. Or are there any questions ba?
Thank you. That's all for now po. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sam, and to the technical people that you have there. Now let's go to Mr. Mike Nolasco again. You're recognized, sir.
Ay, sir, sorry, hindi ko lang nababa yung kamay ko. Yun yung question ko.
Okay. Okay, sige. Thank you, sir. Now let's go to, again, Clifford Seno.
Hello, sir. Good morning po ulit from SMSGT, Clifford Seno. Sir, under 1422 po, supports IP68 or higher. Question lang, sir. Pwede po bang as long as water resistant siya? Kasi yung IP68, yung 68 po refers to submersion po eh.
Yeah, minimum is IP67.
Noted, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Terence Tan, your acknowledge po, sir.
Hi, ma'am. Good morning again. This is Terence Tan from SMSGT. Ma'am, clarify ko lang kasi po yung connection ko naglolo ko, I guess it's because of the rain. My question is regarding, let's say po, if we are going to join all lots, pwede ba hong single class A document and then single documentation po sa lahat?
Backsec, I think that has been answered, but yes, for Mr. Tan, please repeat it.
Hello, sir. If you're participating for all lots po, kindly identify po yung in the documents po yung the lot you wish to participate po and also the bid reference po. Sir.
Ayun po, ma'am. Thank you, Ma'am Michelle and sir. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, thank you, Terence. Now we move on to Helen from Ardent.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. So referring to section 710.4, so for Starlink Enterprise, it was launched in PH Market po, year 2023 from gathered information. So yung 2-year deployment history po may not be feasible for rest of the bidders because it's a recent and disruptive technology. But many providers, they're holding valid and current certifications and partnership agreement with Starlink as well as other LEO satellite providers. So if possible po, to suggest the requirement be lightened, such as the service provider must demonstrate experience with LEO satellite installations and provide valid certification instead of indicating minimum of 2 years. Kasi disruptive solution po ito eh. And new lang po sa market.
Director Edgar?
Thank you for the suggestions, ma'am. We will just input our answers in SBB.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Emmanuel Tapat, your acknowledge po, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I have just a few clarification on the technical spec. So starting with 1.4.4.2, I think this is also related to a question previously. So this one states that the service provider will provide SD-WAN gateway control at the service provider's operation center. So if in case, ma'am, our controller is hosted in a cloud, I think that's related a while ago, is that acceptable? Or can we include it as not just specific to our own operation center, but also to a center where the controller is hosted? Say it's cloud hosted. That's one. Is if that's acceptable.
Director Ed? And end user, please.
We will discuss it first, Mr. Vice Chair, and we'll put our answer to SBD.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other questions, Sir Manuel?
Under 2.1, sir, that calls for a completion or service delivery within 45 days. Is there still a way for the team to relax it to, let's say, 60 days? Considering the quantities, I mean, the number of sites per lot, they're quite challenging.
No, sir.
So that's already defined.
That's a definite.
We can,
as per the project scope, according to the end user. Jennifer, again, from.
I just one more, sir. One
Okay,
additional,
Manuel.
related to this
Before
one.
we go to Jennifer.
Yeah, there's like, I'm not sure. I've seen it in the TOR that the provider must declare that the units are now available in country. So let's say for one lot, if it calls for 1,000 devices, so would that mean that we have to declare and provide a certificate that the 1,000 units are now available in country before even during the submission of the bid?
End user.
Sir, can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, this is exactly the items are 10.6. So the proponents shall submit proof to ensure that the required terminals or layer terminals are physically available. So would that mean that for one lot, let's say for example 1,000 LEO terminals, would you require us to already declare that we have those 1,000 terminals in country as a proof and with a proof?
End user.
Yes, pwede, but we prefer yung mayroong third party na mag-attest or mag-validate na mayroon kayong available stock on hand.
Okay. So it should be already locally available. That's the requirement, sir. Even
Yes, sir. Given the tight schedule para
Okay, got it, sir. One last item, 3.6, sir. On the test results, when you say but not limited to iPerf and speed test, so both these testing parameters are mandatory. It cannot be one or the other. Let's say speed test only, would you also still require it as mandatory testing, the iPerf? Or even other testing that are available?
Either, sir.
Either. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Okay.
Okay. Now let's again, Jennifer. Do you have any furthermore questions?
Hello, sir. Another clarification po on page 277 po about po sa price schedule template.
Okay. What is your question regarding that?
May two tables po kasi siya. Yung una, yung sa pricing details po. And then, summary of bid prices sa baba. Yung sa baba po ba, need pa po bang i-break down lahat ng items? Or it's okay na yung total lang po and then the one lot, then price?
Mr. Vice Chair, that's the first po, that's the standard form na po. Then for the question po ni Miss Jennifer, So clear naman po here that they have to summarize po yung bid prices po nila, sir.
Yeah, as per 12009, this is the new standard format, right? Backsec.
Yes po.
My question po is, ipapa-breakdown niyo po ba lahat ng items na gagamitin, lahat ng equipment? And we will put the price for each item.
Backsec.
With that po, we'll clarify na lang po dun sa ating supplemental bulletin, Mr. Vice Chair.
Okay. Is that clear, Ma'am Jennifer?
Yes, sir. We will wait po na lang po the answers po for this clarification.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am Helen Pantanilla of Arden, you are
Hi,
recognized.
sir. Opo, sir. Good morning. I will revert to section 7 2.1. So we received the confirmation from SpaceX that the 5,576 is not available in country and could be delivered in batches in 3 to 4 weeks coming from the manufacturer. So given that time, sir, 3 to 4 weeks, plus the logistics of the bidders nationwide, meron pong challenge with regards to 45-day window, even if the logistics will be expedited. And
Okay.
to add to that, sir, ito po yung pinaka high-end model ng mga terminal kits. So wala pong sufficient in-country stock. Talaga pong kukunin siya from the US.
End user?
We will discuss it internally, Mr. Vice Chair, and we'll include our answer correctly.
Okay, thank you. Miss Helen, that would be answer in an SBB. So just
Thanks,
please wait
sir.
for it. Okay, another person is raising his hands, Mr. Sam Acosta. Sir.
Yes, thank you, Sir June. Regarding section 13 pertaining to in-country terminal stock, so I think the end user is requiring proof of terminals are physically in the Philippines at bid opening. May we clarify or request if, because the risk I think is the stock at bid opening is maybe anti-competitive, supply depends on import lead time. And may we clarify where the inspection will be conducted. And we believe that the ICT will require that items are brand new and latest model. Can you confirm this, please?
Director Edgar and the end user, please. Director Edgar is Director Edgar?
Burns, go ahead.
Yes po. Good morning, everyone. For that question po, given po na yung...
For the record, Burns, please state your name and the unit that you're representing in the ICT.
I'm Bernardo Pernia po from PMT, pre-Wi-Fi PMT. Now, regarding po dun sa question, given po the timeline that we are targeting na ma-implement po ito before the end of this year po, we would require po na magkaroon po na kaagad na meron. Meron na po agad na stocks po yung equipment. And as to the question kung kailan po magkakaroon ng inspection, it will be done during post-qualification po.
Okay, very clear. Is that a satisfactory answer to the one who asked the question? And very clear? Okay, I believe so. Miss Ana Antonio, you're recognized, ma'am.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Ana Antonio, sir, from I1 Resources. Sir, I would like to clarify, given the timeline for this project, would the ICT accept to that we could use the old terminals for this low Earth orbit satellite dish, and not the latest, though kasi yung latest model, sir, is parating pa lang po siya eh. As mentioned a while ago sa isang co-bidder po namin, tatanggap din po kami ng advice from SpaceX na ganun nga po yung timeline ng mga new models na ng high performance Starlink.
End user, please answer. End user. User. Yeah, Burns.
Stated in the warranty po.
Hindi po clear. Medyo mahina po, sir, audio.
Okay na po.
Yes po, ayan po.
Na po. Stated po dun sa warranty under 17.3. 17.3 item 1, the service provider warrants that all the network components supplied under the contract are new and unused, and that they incorporate all recent improvements in design and materials except when the technical specification required by the procuring entity provide otherwise. Yun po.
Okay. Sam, yes, sir. You're recognized. Sam, you're raising your hands and you are recognized.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me now? Sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you, sir. Loud and
Sorry,
clear.
I just want to follow up regarding my question earlier. We wanted to clarify po sana where the inspection will be conducted. I believe it will be in one place, ano po? And will the ICT ensure that the items are brand new or yun na nga, latest model as much as possible, of course, for the best benefit of the public and the government.
PMT. And you, sir?
Sir, we will answer that to the SBB. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Director Edgar. I think somebody was raising her hand earlier, but I see none of the meeting participants are raising their hands. Last call. Are there any other concerns, questions? Yes, Miss Ana Antonio. You're recognized.
In relation sa question ko a while ago, sir, I would like to clarify if unused old model po, sir, ang pwede po ba i-accept ni DICT?
Director Edgar and the team, free Wi-Fi team, please answer. Thank you.
As stated, Mr. Vice Chair, dun sa ano natin, TOR is as long as it's new, we allowed it, Mr. Vice Chair.
Okay. So they would refer to the terms of reference. And okay, there's another hand raising. Miss Helen, you're recognized, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So this will be my last clarifications. Pardon me for not referring to section. But this concerns po doon sa SPPO certificate requirement. So it may potentially limit qualified bidders because marami po tayong qualified integrators operates under valid reseller agreement with SpaceX or Starlink. So na-authorize na po ni NTC to operate in the Philippines. And this is also an emerging technology, non-terrestrial na framework. So often po, yung mga local ISPs and integrators, hindi po sila na nire-require to hold an SPPO. So is this po ba a deal, kumbaga parang a mandatory na kailangan po SSPO lahat po ng bidders?
To the team, and you, sir, please answer the question of Ma'am Helen.
Again, Mr. Vice Chair, we'll answer that to ask.
Okay, thank you, Director Edgar. Ma'am Helen, just wait for the SPB as the team will be finalizing their answers to your questions. No?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions, concerns? I think Miss Ria Valdez is raising her hands.
Yeah,
You're
this,
recognized, ma'am.
hi, sir. This is my last question. So regarding billing, so when does the first month of subscription officially start? Since installations will be done incrementally, so let's say around 250 sites per day over the 45 days. So some sites will go live earlier. So we need clarification if the billing starts per site activation or only after all sites are accepted.
That's a valid question. Director Ed and the team and the end user, please answer.
Bern, can you take that question?
Yes po. Stated po dun sa payment schedule, note that the service coverage will officially commence the day after the successful activation and acceptance of the contract of the total contracted locations po.
So meaning after all sites are accepted, sir.
After all sites are accepted po dun sa per lot po.
Per lot. Okay, copy,
Yes.
sir. Thank you, sir. That's clear.
Is there any question po from the prospective bidders?
Are there any other questions? Going once, twice? I think all questions have been set, and the end user has signified that they will answer some of the questions that left unanswered here and unclarified through an SBB. BACSEC, what's next?
Copy po, Sir Vice Chair. We'll now proceed po to the final reminders for the deadline of submission queries and clarification po. For the final reminders po to bidders, request for clarification should be formalized, addressed, and emailed to the BAC Secretariat at back@dict.gov.ph and back.secretariat@dict.gov.ph. And again, the deadline for the request for clarification is on or before October 17, 2025 at 4 p.m. And the copies po of the supplemental bid bulletin shall be posted at the PhilJets website, the DICT website, and the bulletin board po at the DICT lobby. Mr. Vice Chair, that would be all from the back secretariat.
Yeah. Again, before we conclude, I would like to thank the prospective bidders for participating. Your inputs and suggestions, comments, and concerns are very valuable for us to be very successful in this endeavor in making sure that the schools here in the Philippines will be connected. It's consistent with the administration's mandate and, of course, the Secretary's aim to follow through with the President SONA. We value your partnership. Sana wag po kayong magsawang suportahan ng DICT. And if you have any questions, concerns, the BACSEC has already given their email. So please do email them. Again, maraming salamat on behalf of our chair and the entire BAC. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. Director Carlo, yes. Sir.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. I'd like to emphasize, with the indulgence of the entire Bids and Awards Committee, for the prospective bidders to keep in mind the deadline for the request for clarification. So your questions, your verbal questions in today's meeting, you can put them down in writing para lang you can get a record po of your questions and the answers given. And please, we cannot stress this enough na yung deadline po natin because we cannot entertain questions after the deadline na po. Marami pa po kasing sa ibang procurement items po, may mga dumadating pa po after the deadline. And sadly, we can't act on it unless it's for very important reasons for us to respond. So please, I think you have in mind your questions na rin naman po during this meeting. And if you have supplemental questions, please submit them before the deadline set. Maraming salamat po. Mr. Vice Chair, yun lamang po. I move for the adjournment of this meeting. I so move, Mr. Vice Chair. Salamat po.
Thank you, Director Carlo. Is there any other second?
Second, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Director Dennis. With that motion, duly seconded. This meeting, pre-bid conference, is hereby ended. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much po. Thank you to all.
Thank you.